let's just go ahead and talk about Mr. Oluwatosin. I said that right, didn't I?
Right,
Hey. All right, Tosin Junaid, all right? So the name of his company is Nade's Fashion House. Nade's, it's a luxury brand known for their conversations, darting suits and trench coats that celebrate African patterns and textiles through a contemporary lens to create a world of sartorial designs rooted in culture. Now, if anybody out there doesn't know what sartorial is, we'll explain that to them in a minute, okay? We're coming back to that. I'm gonna circle that one. I like that word, though. All right? Founder Oluwatosin Tosin Junaid, born in Nigeria, come on, everybody. And based in Los Angeles, is known for his fashion-forward style, bringing colors and patterns from his cultural roots center stage. His designs have been seen on several celebrities, including actors, professional athletes, recording artists, chefs, comedians, and he also has been featured, as I mentioned earlier, 6 times in Vogue, all right? And in other international publications and magazines. And in October of 2021, he made history as the first African designer to show on the official LA Fashion Week stage at the Peterson Museum, featuring models of all ethnicities and sizes. That's why I like him. See, he doesn't stop at size 4, all right? How many size 4s in here? I'm just saying, all right? He keeps going. Okay, right, nobody raised it. Everybody's like, no. Yes. He continues to be an advocate for diversity and inclusivity in the fashion industry, and he's known for the pride he has in his culture and for being a unifier. That's what I'm talking about, and culture connoisseur. So let's get down to this part right here. The story behind the collection. It's widely known that animal prints, how many of us besides myself like animal prints? Hello, you like animal prints? Yes. Were only worn by the royal family. I want you all to pay good attention to this. This is good stuff. In ancient times, as it represented royalty and power at that time. However, they weren't the only class to do so. The hunters also wore animal print, which was actually real animal skin. They were brave, mostly worn around their waists and heads. They believed putting it on gave them the spirit of the animal and a better chance at hunting. He says, I thought to myself, what could be more empowering than this? It aligns perfectly with the brand's essence, and that is how the collection came about. Nade's Fashion House. Ladies and gentlemen, Tosin. So earlier, Tosin and I were chatting, and I looked at him and I said, you know, when I see you, I see this little boy. And I said, no, don't take that the wrong way. I'm not saying you look like a little boy. I'm saying I just had a vision of you as a little boy creating designs. And I just see him sitting on the floor, and his mother looking at him and going, Lord, but still ending up, you know, supporting it when she realized who you really were. And then he said, that's exactly what happened. So let's talk about the beginning. Let's talk about Tosin, the child, and what age were you when this vision was sparked, this passion to be a designer?
First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to Kim, Karen, you know. I mean, I was talking to Karen the other day. I don't know if this is on.
Is it? Is Sean, is his?
Oh, okay.
Just pull it a little
You know,
closer.
I was talking to her the other day, like, who is this organized on your first event? You know, this is just pure excellence, and I'm glad to be here. And when they told me I was coming to a business forum, I didn't know I was actually coming to therapy, because you know, the energy in the room just starting out was so beautiful, and I'm so glad to be here. And I'm actually going to start off where she left, where she stopped, where she mentioned the whole, you know, me as a kid thing, and, you know, just looking around the room and like the wisdom and experience, you know. I think I'm just going to start off with the fact that as parents, it's very powerful how we treat or what we say to our kids, because I'm a strong testament of my mom. and the way she raised me and the kind of confidence she put in me as a very young child. So much so that I got called so many names, the child with the matching fits and so many colors and all that, but but then it didn't really matter then because, that grounding was very present. Sadly, she passed before she could witness all of these things. But that's just to say, it goes a very long way how we ground our kids and all that. So, yeah.
So, yes, thank you. It's all right, go on and clap for him. Clap for him. I thought you were going to continue. First of all, sorry that mom is gone, but I can tell you this. She's in heaven talking to Jesus on your behalf.
Yeah,
all right?
for sure.
That's for sure. I do want to get to that child. I do, before I ask you what made you choose the color purple today, because I have a feeling it has something to do with royalty. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just asking. But let's talk about that young man and what happened when you decided, this is what I want to do. And you knew, even as a baby, that's what you wanted to do. I mean, a
just
little
trying
boy.
to find the perfect way to answer this because, as a child, I wouldn't say for sure, this is how my life is going to hand out. But one thing for sure, that was always top tier. I just add, again, it goes down to the family ties because I had this grounding that regardless what my peers were doing then, I had the focus to stick with this thing, and just ride with it. And, at some point, I think I was about 14 at the time, I had to put together this graduation fit, and it ended up looking like some Italian mafia coming out of nowhere, and then it started from there, family, friends that, started designing for people, collaborating with my other friends as well. Actually started with a shoe brand, did that for a few years before I moved into the actual clothing I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Were your friends always supportive, or did you have a little pushback from some of them?
I had mixed friends.
Did they not
Mixed
understand this desire here?
No, because again, I'm from Nigeria. I lived most of my life in Nigeria, and you don't, especially our African parents, you don't go around your house talking about I want to be a designer. It's only the doctor, this lawyer, whatever. But yeah, it definitely came from, now looking at it in hindsight, I would say it's something I was just destined to do. And just having that blessing of proper nurturing and confidence and, to just stick to it all the way, even when your peers are going by this and doing the engineer and, and all that, so.
Do you find that in the world of fashion there is a lot or a little competition? And if so, how do you handle the mentality of, instead of, hey, let's collab? Because we spoke about collaboration.
Right.
You're okay with collaborating with another designer, but not all designers want to collaborate. So how do you deal with that?
So actually, I would like to address that not just in the fashion industry. I think that applies, as a people.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of us have this mutual agreement that, yes, we can do better when we come together and all these things. So what is really the problem? What is stopping us from coming together? Collaboration.
Yeah.
There is no other way. And we see these things, and I'm going to reference like the big companies when it comes to like the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton. We see them every year slapping their brands and their logos together and making more money that they can make on their own, right? But when it comes to us, we're so focused on being the biggest brand and the first this and the first that, we don't really tap into that power. And yeah, we really need to do that to move forward.
Right. And let's talk about brand because we hear that word so often, but there is a formula. There's a process to actually branding your business, branding yourself. So what advice can you give to everyone out there when it comes to branding? What did you do? How did you get to your brand? And what is
Well,
it?
in one word, it's just storytelling.
I
And
like that.
you need to be personal with it. Right? A friend of mine put it this way, like, the value of a founder and that of a, VC stakeholder is entirely different in the sense that you take the founder out, there's chaos, right? Personal story is I don't it should be the only way to
tell.
brand. Yeah, because when
Yeah.
it's personal, it's unique, it's original,
Okay.
and you don't really need to go around town looking for stories.
When you have it.
When you have
It's
one,
there.
right? So that's branding in one line.
So, yeah, that is good stuff. Tosin, would you say that that is your why? When the challenges come, in business, we deal with the challenges and then we have to remind ourselves, what's my why? Why am I still here? Why am I sticking with it? Why am I enduring? Why, why am I still standing? Why? Is that your why?
The why is actually very vast, but I'm gonna try to narrow it down because my why cuts across everything from our self-worth as Africans and black people generally, whether African American, whether Nigerian, Liberian, just trying to weave clothes in a way that empowers people. And, it's very powerful when you put on something and before you know it, your mood changes. And then, you go from this to that just by the outfit you put on. So my why really is just to kind of bring about an awakening to my tribe. Because I'll use this example, right? We put a product, say product A, made in Nigeria, and we put a product B made in Italy. Same quality, same everything, material, all that the same. Automatically, we know which ones people gravitate towards automatically just because of the made in. And for us to actually have this world respect and this world power, we as a people need to see that, somebody mentioned something about we're so short-sighted, right? We need to, put ourselves together, put our minds together and be like, okay, if we're putting all our black dollar into all these other companies that really don't care about us, why don't we value our own and put our money where our mouth is, literally?
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's because we've been taught.
Yes. And let's talk mentors, because earlier you mentioned that you have mentors younger and
Yeah.
older. Now, how
Yeah.
does that happen? And what is the main takeaway that you've gotten from some of your mentors?
Well, I mean, to be a fashion person is really to be, again, the brand, to be a storyteller and to be you have to be very knowledgeable about the culture, especially with my brand, and there's no way I'm gonna do that without tapping from those that came before me and even those that are younger than me right now, because the world is constantly moving and we have all these brands that we hear these days that have lasted 100 years and 200 years. They were only able to sustain that because they kept on moving with the times. So even right now, my younger mentors are probably blessing me more than the older ones, if I could say so, because just having that balance, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you mentor yourself? Are you
Yes, I
mentoring?
do.
Very good.
Yeah,
And it's your humility and your attitude of gratitude that is going to help you truly continue to go a long way. I love that.
Thank you.
That you are not, as someone just mentioned a moment ago, full of ego. Because it's that ego that can kill a dream real quick. Ego and procrastination, let me just say that. Yes. Let's talk about these sizes real quick. And as we come to a close, there's a few more things I want to mention. Why do most of the designers want to just have clothes for sizes 2 and 4? What is that? Please help me understand, because I am not a 4.
I mean, it's just an industry lie, really. The same way we're suffering from a cultural lie as well, because they want to define what beauty is.
Beauty is in hips. Danny said beauty is in hips. But what about the plus size women? Okay, what about women 8 up, 10 up, you know? I mean, they want to be just as fabulous. What'd you say? Yes. 14, 16. Right. Yes, 18. I mean, my sister is beautiful. And I think at one point she's starting to lose, she was a size 22. But she still would have loved to have dressed very fancy, but they don't make clothes like that everywhere. So when you talk to your fellow designers, what do they say about that? And is that something that you would have in the future as a plus size line?
Well, I already make plus size clothes.
Okay. Amen. And how up to what number are we talking?
Besides I go up to 20, 22.
Really?
I even have custom fit options for however.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's still things we're trying to debunk in the industry, because who made all these rules up? You know, some professor probably sat in his office somewhere and said, this is what model sizes should be. You know, but there's still a long way to go with that.
Yeah.
But in my own very little way, right from the beginning of my brand, I have always worked with plus size models, and I will continue to do so, continue to spread the word, because we don't know the effect. I met a model one time, right, not up to a size 8 or nothing. But, you know, she's been told all the stories about how she's only going to be booked if she's, 0, 2. And I'm like, you're already as tiny as you should be, and this is such a serious thing, because now she's having mental health issues. Yes. She's depressed because she feels like her size is what's not making her get booked. And I'm like, this is a lie, So I try to do, in my own little way again, to just showcase everybody, not just, very diverse people, Asians, Americans, Africans, Colombians,
Yes. And I was just about to say that, Danny. I was just about to talk about the height, because there are models that are shorter. Right. And we've got the height, and I understand it's because you want the clothes to flow more, but why not make clothes for our tiny, cute, little compact people out there that may not be 5'7", 5'8", 10, 6 feet and all that?
Again, I make clothes for everybody.
Look, if you want some clothes.
You've seen the fashion show one time.
Yes,
I make clothes for everybody. I make clothes for everybody. Yes. Again, the fashion industry there's still a lot of work to be done. Yes. But we're taking it a step at a time.
We need to do a workshop. We need to do a workshop in the future, you guys, where we can help people who feel that they have to starve themselves to death, but they really don't.
Right.
Things like that. And maybe you can help be the catalyst in encouraging other designers to step out of that box that we've been in for how many years? So that's just me, putting a little nugget there. Let's, food for thought. Okay, I was going to ask you how you handle models, because models get a bad rep. Let's just spend a few seconds on that, and then I have one more question for you, and then we'll be done. Models get a bad rep.
It's like handling humans, really.
Right.
It's like handling humans and models, sometimes you come across models that are not doing it, for the passion or like for the love of it. They just want to like have something to post about or to announce or. So when I meet somebody like that, I don't waste my time. I already, but when it comes to like those that are actually passionate about those things, I really don't have any issues.
Good. So you pick and choose people with good attitudes.
And
that's so important.
all day,
even
every day.
Even
All
even
day,
with you,
every
Marco.
day.
Yeah, in a business, we all have to choose the people that will represent us properly. And
That's
the people
right.
that will bring the business down.
That's right.
Going off on the
That's right.
customers and all that. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with this last question. What made you choose that amazing purple outfit suit today?
Royalty.
Royalty! I knew it!
Royalty.
It was royalty. Okay, you guys, please give it up for Tosin. Please. Nade's House of Fashion, yes. Yes, awesome.